I was scrolling at 2 a.m. again. My brain felt like static. I couldn't focus for 5 minutes. I couldn't finish anything. And the worst part? I knew I was wasting my life, but I couldn't stop. Then one night, I read something that changed everything. Your brain is plastic. It reshapes based on what you feed it, and I had been feeding mine poison. This is the final warning. If you ignore this, you'll wake up 5 years from now in the exact same place, except older, except more regretful. This is your signal. Habit 1. The morning anchor. The first habit broke me free. I called it the morning anchor. Here's what I did. I woke up and didn't touch my phone. Not for 1 hour. The first week was torture. My hand would reach for it automatically, like a phantom limb. But here's what I learned. The first hour sets the frequency for your entire day. If you start with dopamine hits, your brain expects it all day. You become a dopamine zombie. Chasing, scrolling, consuming. So I replaced it. I sat in silence for 10 minutes. Just me and my thoughts. No music, no distractions. At first, my mind was chaos. Racing thoughts, anxiety, discomfort. But slowly, something shifted. The noise quieted. I could hear myself again. Then I wrote 3 things. 1 thing I'm grateful for. 1 thing I'm working toward. 1 way I'll show up today. That's it. 10 minutes of silence. 5 minutes of writing. This habit built a foundation, a clean slate every morning. My brain started rewiring. It stopped expecting instant gratification. It learned to sit with stillness. And that's where real power grows. Habit 2. The input filter. The second habit was brutal. I had to cut the poison. I called it the input filter. Your brain is like a garden. What you plant grows. And I had been planting weeds. Endless shorts, negative news, drama, gossip. My mind was a war zone. So I went extreme. I deleted social media from my phone. All of it. I unsubscribed from 90% of YouTube channels. I stopped watching the news. People thought I was crazy. How will you stay informed? But here's the truth nobody tells you. Most information is noise. It doesn't help you build, it just makes you anxious. So I became intentional. I only consumed content that made me better. Books, long-form videos, courses, things that required effort to understand. Within 2 weeks, my mind cleared. I could think deeper. I could focus longer. My thoughts became my own again, not recycled opinions from strangers online. The input filter saved my brain. If you're consuming junk, you'll produce junk. Change the input, change the output. Habit 3. The friction rule. The third habit was genius. I call it the friction rule. Make good habits frictionless. Make bad habits high friction. Here's how it worked. I wanted to read more, so I put a book on my pillow every morning. When I went to bed, I had to move it. And when I moved it, I'd read 1 page. 1 page became 10. 10 became a chapter. Within a month, I'd read 3 books. But I also wanted to stop scrolling, so I added friction. I logged out of every app after using it. I deleted apps and re-downloaded them when needed. I put my phone in another room at night. The 10 extra seconds to log in, that was enough. My brain said, too much effort, and I'd do something else. Your environment controls your behavior. If the remote is on the couch, you'll watch TV. If the guitar is on a stand, you'll play it. If your phone is in your hand, you'll scroll. Design your environment for the person you want to become, not the person you are. Habit 4. The boredom practice. The fourth habit unlocked everything. The boredom practice. I learned to be bored. On purpose. Here's why this matters. Your brain needs boredom to create. When you're always stimulated, you never think deeply. You never make connections. You never have original ideas. So I practiced boredom. I'd sit and stare at a wall for 10 minutes. I'd go on walks without headphones. I'd eat meals without watching anything. Just me. And silence. At first, I felt like I was wasting time. But then the magic happened. Ideas started flowing. Solutions to problems I'd been stuck on. Creative breakthroughs. I realized my brain was always working in the background, but I never gave it space to surface the answers. Boredom became my superpower. The greatest ideas in history came from bored minds. Einstein, Newton, Tesla. They had time to think. You don't, unless you create it.
Habit 5. The dopamine reset. The fifth habit changed the game. The dopamine reset. Once a week, I did nothing pleasurable. No phone, no food I loved, no entertainment. Just basics. Water, plain food, movement, sleep. It felt like punishment, but here's what happened. My baseline reset. Normal things became exciting again. A conversation felt engaging. A sunset felt beautiful. A book felt thrilling. I realized I had been living on dopamine overload. Everything had to be extreme to feel anything, so nothing felt good anymore. The reset brought me back to baseline, and from baseline, everything feels like a reward. This is how you win. You stop chasing more, you appreciate what is. These 5 habits rewired my brain. Not overnight, not in a week, but over 90 days I became unrecognizable. I could focus for hours. I could sit in silence without anxiety. I could create without distraction. My mind felt sharp, clear, alive. People started asking what changed. I didn't have Instagram abs, I didn't buy a Lamborghini, but I had something better. Control. Over my attention, my time, my mind. And that's the most valuable currency in the world. You have a choice right now. You can close this video and forget everything. Go back to scrolling, go back to numbing, go back to sleepwalking through life. Or you can start today. Pick one habit. Just one. The morning anchor, the input filter, the friction rule. Do it tomorrow, then the next day, then the next. Your brain will resist. It will scream for the old patterns. But if you push through, it will rewire. And when it does, you'll look back and realize you were always capable. You were always enough. You just needed to give your brain a chance. This is your signal. Don't waste it. Start tomorrow. Become who you were meant to be. If this resonated, share it with one person who needs to hear it. That's it. Now go build.